Hello and welcome to iTradeAIMS. This is Imi. Today I'm going to teach you a very powerful setup. This is my Christmas gift for all of you. It's a setup that we take on the M15 chart, and to know that, I want to give you my free book. Link is in the description. It's popping on the screen right now. Download this book so you'll understand it further. So first we're going to do is that I'm going to play you a little video that I shared in my Discord group, and this is a short video that looks into what I actually saw last night and then what happened this morning. This will be then followed by another video which will go in depth and explain to you what is this setup, how was I able to look at Euro Pound last night and was able to predict that sharply at 7 o'clock Euro Pound might move and it will go in the bullish direction, and why is it that I was right, how was I able to do that, and how you can do it as well. So let's have a look. Yesterday I posted this video both on TradingView and YouTube. I just wanted to check what was going on with Euro Pound, so let's play that bit. Sideways. So what we want is tomorrow on M15 we could have a famous setup. So if it stays within this box and it goes sideways, we probably will get a breakout up there around Frankfurt Open. So on the M15 chart it would look something like this. We would have the count would basically be let's call this a 1 and a 2, that's a 3, probably somewhere here, or 4 will end, and then we will have our wave 5 up there. So we'll see if it creates a tight box overnight, and right about here, and this time here, so around here will be Frankfurt Open, and if it stayed sideways we can take it long there. Okay, so now let's have a look at today's markets, what happened today. So the video that will follow now, it will explain to you what is the famous setup which allowed me to actually look at the market last night and was able to predict what was going to happen. So you will see that the Euro Pound actually exploded today this morning. So let's have an in-depth look into why I was able to do it and how you can trade this setup. Our most famous member Sam was able to quadruple his account using this setup. He's done it many times, and you can do it as well. And if you just look at your charts and backtest the last few years, you will find out that this is a very powerful setup. So this is my Christmas gift to you. Enjoy the tutorial, and please do hit the like button and leave me a comment. Thank you. Okay, in this video I'm going to explain a setup that we call the famous setup, and it forms on the M15 chart. But the beauty about it is that you can know, or you can predict, the possibility of this setup occurring before the day ends today. So if it was going to happen today, this move here, as you can see on this chart, you'll be able to predict it about 10 hours before time. So let me show you this. So what you see is a M15 chart, and what you see on the setup is you see a wave 3 up. This is based on the 10-second Elliott wave concept. If you don't know, download the book. It's in my signature. Go to that link and you can download that book to count Elliott wave quickly. So you'll have a 3 here and a 4 here. And to show that, I will actually draw it for you. So if we consider it, we can count this as 1, this as 2, as 3, that's my 4, and that's 5. I can also consider this as my 4, if you like. So, but I can see all of that using the 10-second Elliott wave concept, which is look to the left around this time. You'd look to the left, and whichever is the highest peak on the AIMS wave, or the AO, the Bill Williams Awesome Oscillator, whichever is the histogram is the tallest peak corresponding with the price, that will be your wave 3. And when price goes sideways and the gator sleeps and AO crosses the 0 line and purple is still below it, that becomes your wave 4. The next wave on the next day, when it breaks out, is going to be your wave 5. Sometimes it even turns into a new wave 3, but that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Why is it that you'll be able to predict it about 10 hours in advance? So let's use the beautiful bar replay function of TradingView, and let's suppose we go to 6 o'clock UK time, and I'm going to move to the hourly chart, and that's where I see these setups. So if you check my ideas, last night, I have shared a video of Forex chart analysis. I will link it in this video, and around 4-minute time you'll hear me talk about the euro pound, and in that I have predicted that tomorrow, at that time yesterday, I was talking about this, and I drew a box here, and I said that around 7 o'clock tomorrow, this thing might, if the condition is that, condition number 1, you will see a very strong day. So yesterday for euro pound was a strong day because of the pound, what's happening on the pound. If you look at the charts, pounds are dropping. So the euro pound created this very strong wave. So you'll have on the hourly chart a gator open and price relatively strongly moving up. Now this is kind of parabolic. In this one you have 2 candles that moved price up strongly, but then after that there was no follow through. Whereas in this one it was steadily going up throughout the day. So when the day ends, you want so the banks in Europe and UK will close around 5 o'clock here, which would be around 12 o'clock US time. And then after that, the volatility will kind of drop and price will go sideways until the next morning. Let's just draw it accurately to that time. Frankfurt open, which will be 7 o'clock UK. That's where the banks open and activity begins. And institutions in them, they put their orders around there. So if you go to the 15-minute chart, and now we play it bar by bar, you will see that this is the actual price that followed. So around here now, we are arriving. So I drew the box here, but you could have driven it, drawn it there. Let's call it that. And actually, let's just remove this box now because we have the actual box. And around, let's say, now we are approaching the 7 o'clock time. And around this time, just before this, let me just redo this to this point. So that's the Frankfurt Open now. What we see now is a very strong clean 3, followed by one of the rules that it has to create a pancake type tight sideways market during the Asian session. That would indicate that nobody disagreed with this during the Asian session. Nothing changed. Everything is there. So when the banks open, this difference might continue again. And it did exactly. So I'm going to click this button and come to real time now. Or actually, let's just go side one by one. So the first candle came down, touched the purple, really beautiful. That's even nicer. Touches it, and this candle closes. If you were not triggered in, then at the close of this candle, you could have taken that trade with stop loss here. So let me pull those lines now. Let's suppose you got in there. So if you got in there, your stop loss will be here about 15 points. And now let's see what happens. And obviously, as we know, market went straight up and you have hit your 2-hour target. Now, if you were working or if you don't want to look at your chart all the time, once you identified this, what you can do is to create a setup. So what would be your target? Well, easily, it's a 2-hour target. So if you go in there and your stop loss is here, your target is going to be at 30 pips. So around there. And that's your 2-hour target. Or you can have a 3-hour target if you want 3-hour. And the reason I would put a 3-hour target is only when this happens. So what you want to do is to create a fib expansion. Start drawing it from the start of wave 1, take it to the top of wave 3, and then the bottom of wave 4. I can use this or I can use that. If I use this level, which is the lowest point that will be of wave 4, it gives me a target zone of 62% here. That's what we call the target zone 1. So if the target zone 1 is this far away and my stop loss is 15, and I set it up there, this is giving me 1:3, and that was a valid target. Now imagine, let me just artificially bring it down. If the target zone 1 was over there, then I wouldn't set my target there. I would instead set my target around this level, which would be 2R. Now suppose, and that's another interesting thing about this, is that if I'm just artificially going to move the target zone down. This is not where it is, but I'm going to bring it down. If target zone 1 was here, then you had to put your target there, which would mean it's just 1R. And that actually filters the trade. We don't want to take those trades which has a probability of only 1R profit. You want 2R profit. So in this occasion, we had a probability of a 3R target. So we could have easily set up a 3R target. And we also had the option of, if you have an expert advisor, which we have, at 1R, we bring stop loss to break even. We can also instruct it to close half at 2R and let the candles be trailed. So in that scenario, we would have brought stop loss to break even at 1R, taken half at 2R, and then the rest will be taken at 3R. So this is the famous setup. It happened on all the pound pairs. Let me quickly show you a few more pairs. So as you can see, the concept of the hot pair is very important. You need to learn that. Trade only the pairs that are moving. And there's usually a second day play. So as you can see over here, you have a strong move. And there was another example on GBP CAD. So GBP CAD had a really good setup 2 for us. This is what we call a setup 2, but this would always be a setup 1 on M30. So the M30 had a perfect setup 1 for us. Let me just quickly draw those for you as well. You have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I draw the target zone 1, I would actually like to start from the start of wave 3, peak of wave 3, peak of wave 4. And it gives me a target around here. So if I were to go short here with stop loss up there, I've hit my 2R anyway, but if I wanted to take profits and then let the rest run, I still have a target over here. Let's go to GBP CHF. It also has a famous setup. GBP Yen also had a beautiful setup. We traded this. And the GBP USD also had a setup 1 on this. But if you go to the hourly chart, the gator was sleeping on this. A was close to 0 line, which is why I have taken the trade here. And I've added on using this seed here, and I'm trailing the candles. So that's the famous setup. You can trade it on the hourly chart. You can drop to the M15 chart for a better setup. Or you can, if the AO is close to 0 line and red and green are touching, you can even take it on the hourly chart. But the example of the euro pound is the perfect example of a famous setup, because for famous setup you want the hourly chart to still have the gators open. So in this you have the gator open, you have a tight box, and when you go to the M15 chart you will find the perfect setup 1 with a peaking 3, cross of 0 line, and then going into wave 5. You can also trade this setup without even going to the M15 chart. Let me just delete these things now. By checking there's a new peak, then dark bars, AO is still, gator is still open. You have a tight sideways market during the Asian session. It goes sideways, no level is broken, and either on a pending order you'll go long here, or as soon as this candle was closed, this is a bullish outside candle that cleared all the levels to the left and closed outside, you would go long here market and put your stop loss either below the wick here or below this box, and then let it run. So this is a beautiful setup. One of our members called Sam has tripled, quadrupled his account on this over the years. Anyone can use it. It's a very simple setup, and it's my gift to all of you. Use it during the year to come as my Christmas gift for all of you. Setup 1. These indicators are available. You can set them up, or if you just understand this concept, this pattern, you can use it in a combination of any other indicators like a MACD or some moving averages, whatever you want. Thank you for tuning in, and if you like the video, hit the like button and share the idea. Bye now.
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if yes, please hit the like button. Do you have any questions or ideas for upcoming videos? Then leave a comment. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any future videos. See you next time.